Most people are chasing money the wrong way. They look for fast businesses, trendy opportunities, ideas that sound exciting, modern, and impressive. But the Bible never promised quick riches. It promised provision. It promised fruit. And it promised growth over time. And here's the uncomfortable truth most people don't want to hear. God does not bless hype. He blesses faithfulness. Some of the most financially stable people in the world didn't get rich doing exciting things. They built wealth doing boring things, consistently, patiently, and wisely. Today, I'm going to show you 7 boring businesses that actually work according to God's design. Not because they are popular. Not because they are viral. But because they are aligned with eternal biblical principles. These are businesses most people overlook. Businesses that don't impress others, but quietly produce stable income year after year. And if you've ever wondered why some people prosper without stress while others keep struggling no matter how hard they work, this video will explain why. Stay with me until the end because the last business reveals a biblical principle most Christians completely overlook, and it changes the way money works forever. The Bible never promised quick riches. It never guaranteed overnight success. And it never endorsed shortcuts. What it promised was provision. It promised fruit. And it promised growth over time. That's why today I want to show you 7 boring businesses that actually work according to God's principles. Not because they are modern. Not because they are exciting. But because they are aligned with eternal biblical wisdom. The world calls something boring when it doesn't stimulate emotions. God calls something wise when it endures. And when a business is built on the right principles, the result is not luck. The result is fruit. If you're tired of chasing hype, if you're tired of financial stress, and if you want to understand how money works God's way, stay with me. Business number 1, laundromats. Wealth built through consistency. A laundromat may seem simple, even unattractive. It doesn't impress people at dinner parties. It doesn't trend on social media. And no one calls it a dream business. But that simplicity is exactly where its strength lies. People always need clean clothes. In every city. In every economy. In every season. This business does not depend on trends, algorithms, or viral attention. It works week after week, month after month, year after year. The Bible speaks directly about this kind of growth. Proverbs 13 verse 11 says, "Dishonest money dwindles away, but whoever gathers money little by little makes it grow." A laundromat doesn't make anyone rich overnight. It produces small, repetitive, consistent income. And that is exactly the model the Bible blesses. There is no rush here. There is patience. There is no excitement. There is discipline. Consistency is the heart of this business. And consistency is a biblical principle of prosperity. This kind of business also teaches stewardship. Machines must be maintained. Costs must be controlled. Small decisions compound over time. God does not prosper the disorganized. He prospers the diligent. Proverbs 21 verse 5 confirms it. The plans of the diligent surely lead to abundance. A laundromat is profitable not because it is innovative, but because it obeys the divine principle of faithful, repeated work. It may be boring to the world, but it is powerful in the hands of someone who understands that God blesses what is stable and orderly. Business number 2, funeral services and cemeteries. Stability through service. This is not a comfortable topic, and that's exactly why many people avoid it. But death is not a surprise to Scripture. It is a certainty. Funeral services exist to honor, serve, and bring order during one of the most delicate moments in human life. Unlike most businesses, this one is barely affected by economic cycles. It does not depend on trends or consumer confidence. The need exists at all times in every culture, across every generation. That makes it a predictable and long-lasting income model. Ecclesiastes 7 verse 2 says, "It is better to go to a house of mourning than to a house of feasting." This verse does not glorify sadness. It honors reflection, dignity, and perspective. Funeral services fulfill a role of accompaniment, respect, and structure. This business does not rely on aggressive marketing or flashy promises. It is sober, regulated, and process-driven. From a biblical perspective, this reflects genuine service. It is not about exploiting vulnerability. It is about responding with professionalism and care. And when a business is built on service rather than exploitation, its stability becomes a natural consequence. If this message is helping you, subscribe to the Biblical Money Code. And write in the comments, "God is the foundation of my business." Business number 3, self-storage. Order, foresight, and permanence. Self-storage works because it aligns with a basic human reality. People value what they own, and they want to preserve it. This business generates stable monthly income, often for long periods of time, with minimal emotional involvement. The Bible speaks extensively about foresight and order. Proverbs 6 verses 6 to 8 says, "Go to the ant, you sluggard, consider its ways and be wise. It stores its provisions in summer." Storage is a business of foresight. It is not emotional selling. It is rational decision-making. People pay month after month because the service remains necessary. That recurrence reflects a divine principle. What is built with order endures. This business also rewards patience. It does not explode quickly. It grows steadily. Galatians 6 verse 9 reminds us, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest." The world calls this boring. God calls it wise. Business number 4, vending machines. Small provision multiplied. Vending machines perfectly illustrate a kingdom principle. Small amounts sustained over time. No one gets rich selling a single snack. But when small sales happen every day without drama or resistance, the result is accumulation. Jesus taught this clearly in Luke 16 verse 10. "Whoever is faithful in very little is also faithful in much." This business is built on repetitive human habits. Small payments. Low emotional friction. Steady demand. Biblically, this mirrors the principle of daily provision. Matthew 6 verse 11 does not speak of excess. It speaks of daily bread. There is no glamour here, but there is fruit. God does not bless improvisation. He blesses faithful administration. Business number 5, car washes. Volume, simplicity, and time. Car washes succeed because they remove complexity. Cars get dirty. People pay to clean them. The cycle repeats. This business thrives on volume and repetition. Ecclesiastes 7 verse 8 says, "The end of a matter is better than its beginning." Many car washes are tied to land, and Scripture has always associated land with stability and inheritance. Proverbs 12 verse 11 says, "Those who work their land will have abundant food." God did not promise to bless the most creative. He promised to bless the diligent. Business number 6, recurring services. Contracts, order, and faithfulness. Pest control, lawn care, pool maintenance. These businesses work because they are built on agreements. Once a client enters, they stay. The Bible values covenant and clarity. God is not a God of confusion. 1 Corinthians 14 verse 33 confirms it. Predictable income. Defined routes. Clear expectations. What is firm eventually bears fruit. Business number 7, property management. Stewardship at its highest level. Property management is one of the most biblical businesses that exists, because its essence is stewardship, managing what belongs to others with responsibility and justice. Luke 12 verse 42 says, "Who then is the faithful and wise manager?" This business is not exciting. It is repetitive, and that is exactly why it is valuable. The Bible teaches that those who are faithful with little are entrusted with more. Order invites blessing, and where there is order, God moves. The world chases excitement. God blesses faithfulness. The world seeks fast money. God produces lasting wealth. These are not just boring businesses. They are businesses aligned with eternal principles. Because prosperity according to God is not born from haste, but from consistency, discipline, and stewardship. And when you build on biblical principles, fruit is not a possibility. It is a consequence. If this teaching helped you, subscribe to the Biblical Money Code, activate the notification bell, and continue learning how God's wisdom applies to real financial life.